around the clock, sports all the time. That's never going to work. That's ridiculous.
Just remember to have fun out there today. And if you lose, I'll kill you.
This is Tall Can Audio.
Seriously, this thing is going to be a cultural disaster.
Away we go. We didn't get far there. A brand new edition of the Tall Can Audio podcast for your Monday. Matt Robinson, Rob Christie. What's happening, man?
Yeah. I just finished telling you.
You're going to be fine, man.
Yeah, it sounded good. Your voice sounds normal.
Yep.
And then there's a frog in there somewhere.
I stopped talking for 30 seconds and allowed it to creep back in. It happens. We're going to power through. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad, but if it does, well, deal with it, I guess.
Enjoy.
Sure. We're on social media at Tall Can Audio. Give the podcast a follow or a subscribe wherever you're hearing us right now. What are you saying today, man? We got a bunch of stuff to get to.
I'm telling you what I'm saying.
Okay.
Hey, I didn't hear the beep of the backup, but I know that Matt loves to, poke Rob with that. But
I hit the backup before we started, and then I even questioned myself. So while the music was running, I stopped the backup and hit backup again.
Okay. All right. A little curtains being pulled back here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, this is it. For the good listener, there's been one hand, two hands.
One hand. No.
The number of times I've had to call Rob later on Sunday, go, hey, not only did we not get the main studio recording, somehow we also did not get the backup recording. So thanks for your couple hours today, but it's gone.
And now I think twice.
Okay.
I think twice it's happened.
I think you're being generous, but it's been a long 10 years. So
And my response always is, you know what? I showed up and I had a couple beers and
I got shit off my chest.
yeah, I talked and I went home.
Yeah.
So,
and it does usually lead to me having to come back in here and drone on by myself. So there's something that goes out on Monday. So sometimes I just call Rob and tell him it didn't work so I could get his shitty opinions out
yeah,
here.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever I had to say was trash anyway.
Terrible.
So, now, I had today called for a beautiful Bytown in the green room.
Mm-hmm.
I was...
How many you got left?
4.
Yeah, I think I got 6, but I'm being awfully precious with them now, right? Like,
so
had one on New Year's Eve.
Coming down, Saturday, laneway was pristine. I was out, scraping on Friday night, again through the day. Watched a bit of the hockey game Saturday night. Went to the movies.
A bit was all you needed.
A 9:00 movie started.
Oh my God.
That's what I said. I'm like, that seems crazy. So leaving home, I asked the assistant, how long was the movie? And it said, it has a runtime of 2.5 hours.
No.
And I'm like, what? 2.5 hours?
Well, so I did send out the weekly, here's some stuff I think we should probably hit on this week. You didn't reply till after midnight. And I'm like, what is happening with this guy tonight? Look at this party animal out.
Yeah. At the Cineplex. Although I do love popcorn.
Yeah.
There's no getting around.
Of course.
But anyways, as we leave, it's starting to snow.
Yeah.
And honestly, much more heavily than I had anticipated.
It did not stop for a while either.
So we backed over the snow, drove in coming home at midnight over the snow. The people who live next door, so we share a laneway.
Yeah. Driveway.
Yeah, whichever. They have 2 cars, neither of which make it into their garage. We park in the garage all the time.
Okay.
So quite often, they pull out from the front car into our part of the driveway and then drive down it. So in the snow, you've now left, we have our 2 tire tracks twice.
Yeah.
There's at least once, and the snow it's good snowman making snow, right? Like it's thick, it's packed, it's just, and now I'm trying to shovel it this morning, and it's like, that tire track is about 3 inches thick.
Yeah.
And there's like 4 of them now. And I'm like, motherfucker. Like honestly, and I am sweating. Not like just because it's the sun is beating down. And the snow is heavy, and I'm just like, I had to about 3/4 of the way through go in, not because I was physically tired, But I was like starting to smash my shovel on the ground, like Hulk smash, raging.
Getting angry.
Like just my glasses are fogging from the heat, and I'm just like, you know what?
Dig the fuck in right fucking now!
Dig the fuck out. Out. Anyways, and people don't understand. People do not, I understand the laneway thing. I'm a bit anal about it. But come on, man. Take your back. I'm responsible for my own tracks. But you motherfucker, take your back car. Do not back out onto my laneway and out.
We used to have this discussion a little bit at rant, at the old family cottage. It was down this hill to get to, the road was up a hill, and you had a significant hill down to the cottage as well as the cottage next door.
It wasn't nothing.
It was not. No. In fact, like if left unplowed, we could have pretty sweet toboggan hill down.
Or if it was icy?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So Dad has a plow on his truck, and he would keep ours in pristine condition. And
boy.
The neighbors would come sliding down theirs and then drive across the yard, which I don't want to exaggerate. Like, it's not a big yard. We had sort of near cottages side to side, and they would sort of come across and have to go up our driveway, which I was sort of surprised. My dad was always fine. I think he was taking pride in his plow job. Like, yeah, go ahead, use this nice one we've done over here. But back in the day, when I was a kid, I don't think he'd have ever permitted that. But
no,
it was a chance to kind of show off. Yeah, if you guys cared a little more, yours could look like this.
Well, see, and you know what? just to double back before we both have cracked our beers.
Yeah, I so rarely get to be the one to do that while you're talking.
The first home I ever owned was just a little town home, garden home, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. Like, it didn't even have a laneway. You sort of were parking out in a communal area, and you walked up your pathway. So the condos, they would clean the pathways.
Yeah.
Now, the pathway from my door out, I would do.
Sure.
And so the way it was situated was my door was, I don't know, 3 feet from their door, right? So we shared a Y of a pathway, sort of, if you think about it. Well, I would clean the pathway and up to my door, just not their doorway.
Yeah.
Well, those fuckers would never even clean their part of the
right.
They would step off of their front step onto my front step. And you're like, I don't care, whatever.
Have some self-respect.
You lazy sack of shit. Like, really. And those people are out there, man.
This was maybe the only thing.
Whether they own a small starter townhome or whether they own a cottage somewhere up in the...
Well, we used to... The college house we lived in down in Belleville, Loyalist Radio, shout out. R.I.P., actually.
R.I.P. to radio everywhere.
Just basically, yeah. But we shared a driveway with the house next door. And we've talked about this before. The whole neighborhood hated us. Like, just loud, parties, obnoxious, whatever else. But all winter long, when we were out shoveling our driveway, we would shovel the full driveway, full side to side, thinking...
A little down payment.
This is this one token thing we can do. The people next door were not full seniors. They were maybe, 55, 60, something like that. Like, it wasn't like they...
Shared laneway and a shared wall?
No.
No shared wall?
No shared wall.
All
Thank
right,
God. Because just shoveling the driveway would not have been enough had there been a shared wall.
I was just going to say, no way.
But it was kind of this, please, it wasn't a down payment as you suggest. It was please overlook everything that's already happened.
Exactly.
And the future infringement on your...
good life.
Yeah, exactly. But that was about the only, token offering we could... There's 5 young guys living there.
Yeah.
We can probably handle shoveling the whole thing instead of just our half like a dick, right?
But it'll end up being,
maybe this will pay off later.
And it'll 11 o'clock or noon or 1 in the afternoon because nobody's getting up before that.
That's about right. Yeah. No, if you're looking for us to be out there 6:30 a.m. for you to get to where you're going, fuck, you're on your own, man.
Yeah. Well, I think I told you the story, man.
Unless we were still up.
And I was in intermediate school, like grade 8, and I was delivering the Toronto Star, and they're like, "Yeah, we like to have the paper delivered by 6:30."
Yeah, would you?
And I'm like, You better be paying
Not
somebody.
your guy.
You better be paying somebody else the minimal fee that you're paying, because I'm delivering mine on the way to school.
Right. It'll
which
get
was
there when it gets there.
9 a.m. So
Yeah.
most people are already gone. They missed their morning paper, but okay, that's
You're going to have a great read over dinner tonight.
that's the ABCs of me, baby.
What's your, what have you brought to the table over there?
Oh, beer.
Not that we're both halfway through them.
Yeah, I was going to say another one, I think, is actually what's I am drinking something from Market Brewing out of Newmarket, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
Lovely polar bear on the can. This is the Goliath Cold Pale Ale, coming in at 5.4%.
Okay. See, I don't think I've had that before. I've had a bunch of stuff from Market, but
So have I, but this is, and again, it's interesting. I'm not sure if it's one of those lagered ales, cold pale ales. It's got an interesting sort of, yeah, it tastes more lagered. It has much more of a yeasty flavor than a traditional pale ale. So
Okay.
I'm not really sure, but at 5.4, it is sort of in that wheelhouse of a lager, but it's tasty so far, and it's a nice change of pace from the beautiful Bytown.
yeah, no, like I said, things are starting to get a little precious around the beautiful Bytown. I did take 4 more down to the cottage because the old man's been enjoying them as well. Had one on New Year's Eve, thinking that'd be the way to christen.
To ring in the new year.
That's right. We talked last week about the New Year's Eve being a bit of a flop, but the beer did not disappoint. This over here is the Nickelbrook Black Light. It's either Black Light, and then this is part of the description, or it's part of the text makes it hard to do. It's either Black Light Stout or Black Light All Night Stout.
Whole night,
Just
baby.
rolling all night. So yeah, just shy of 5%. An American Stout, a little toasty, which I kind of like.
Okay.
But otherwise, fairly plain, not in a bad way, just in a way that you'd expect out of your standard stout. A little dry, not overly dry, but a little bit dry. And yeah, has that kind of toasty finish
I always
to it.
wonder
So
when you see American Stout.
knocking me out with those American thighs.
I'm not sure what that is. Not the American thighs.
Yeah, they're thighs on Americans.
Yeah. It's an American Stout. I think that's just catering to
America.
Americans.
Sure.
Because I like, what is that?
Well, except this is brewed from Nickelbrook, so
Yeah.
there must be something to the style.
Right. And so I always think of dry,
Yeah.
oatmeal, milk.
Yes.
These are the OG. These
Or
are
dessert stouts, chocolate stouts.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
always,
but there's always a base of
Irish
something.
stout, you know that's going to be a little drier.
Dry.
Or a little, yeah.
Yes, no, of course.
Yeah.
And so I'm really just, in terms of what an American Stout is, what are you aiming for?
What are you doing down there?
What is happening?
Which is a question we're all asking
Yes.
more and more.
And don't just slap a label on it. Don't just say, this is my milk stout recipe, and I'm putting, bam, an American flag on it, and I'm calling it an American Stout.
There you go.
Right? Like the Gulf of America,
Oh my God.
all these things. It's South America. It's ours. It's
Well, the whole hemisphere, I'm told.
we're all the same. It's us. It's us.
Yeah.
Get bent.
This is, it's been fairly unifying these last 12
Yeah.
months now.
100%.
Yeah. Whether we wanted it to be or not. I'm sorry, good listener. I am battling. I think I said on the beginning of the show last week, I felt something creeping in, and I was complaining then because I was like, I just did this at Christmas. I was just sick. And now I'm not feeling sick, but I
Sound sick as hell.
sound sick when I... If Rob talks too long and allows my voice to shut off, restarting it seems to be where the issue comes.
Never happens. Never happens.
Yeah. So, look, I think we should start with the Sens.
Whoop.
It's going good.
Matt, things could not have been better.
Can we just because
Before you start,
Yeah.
could I just say there was a period mid-December, just up until Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
where I was loving the shit that the Leafs were in.
Of course.
I was listening to Toronto
I was less
radio.
impressed with it, but yeah.
I was like, There was a lot of Schadenfreude there. I was like, oh man, things are going so poorly. I'm going to put my finger in this. I'm just going to revel in it. Revel in it. And I remember saying to you just before Christmas, when does Ottawa and Toronto finally play? Like, when do we get some of that sweet leaf action?
Yes.
Like, I said that.
And I did. And I said to you, it's right after Christmas. Yeah. First hockey night right after Christmas.
And shit could not have gone worse since then. And so
would you be prepared to give me that Toronto knocked Ottawa off kilter and has sent them into this spiral?
Well, at this point, Matt,
Please say it.
No. I'm not willing to say that. Deny. No, but there is some kind of correlation, I think, to my gloating, my joy.
I like that.
I think I have done part of this.
Yeah.
It feels like. It's like karma. You put that out there.
And over here, it's feeling a lot more like...
Yeah, it's swung around, and it's actually not even just biting my ass. It's got a bit of the chota. Like
it's a big bite.
It's a big bite.
It's chomped
Could
down.
you not be a little more selective?
It's like when we're seeing a snake swallow a fucking
goat
or something.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You can still see the shape of the goat in there.
Yeah, very Looney Tunes.
You're like, it's very close to the testicle. Could we not just stick it to the meaty part of the cheek?
We're taking it all down.
It's very close.
Yeah. Look, I don't know, man. I want to start here because I don't know that I've ever seen this before. I've seen over the last 2 or 3 Sens game nights a lot of, we're not as good as we thought we were, or this was supposed to be built on making the ball. Like, I think we all understand that's where the Sens thought they were going to be. But last night I saw a tweet that was like, give me 85, 12, and 18. Everything else is up for sale. And I'm like, 7? Not on that list, eh? And I've never seen that before. And that's just one tweet. I've seen people say, like, if this is all Brady's got for us, a lot of people worried about, is he taking it easy until the Olympics? Which we had Graham Nichols on the show last week to talk some Sens. And I said to him, like, every fan base has their own interpretation of that. Like right now, McDavid and Matthews have suddenly, like, over the last several weeks, shifted into get ready for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Are other guys saving themselves for the Olympics? Is it neither? Is it just you tell yourself whatever is going to fit your narrative? Where are you at with Brady?
It's a great question, and I don't know. My take on it is,
like, not even necessarily the Olympic thing, but just in general.
No. My where I'm going with, in 24 games, he's got 21 points. Like,
it's not awful.
Well, you're talking about a guy who is, I think his,
like, he had set himself up to be more than that, I think we thought. But when he was drafted, we would have all taken that, right?
Yeah, but if you look at if that's an 80-point or a 75-point projection, that is not a bad season. There has been some, we've been missing out on the full Brady.
Sure.
Right?
And maybe he can't do that.
This is it. And I think that's the thing, right? When, if you look at that is what you expect from him, it's been a little underwhelming, but the point totals have not really been that bad.
But I think for a lot of people, he looks disengaged, right? Like, or disinterested.
Well, there haven't been the moments, which quite often involve maybe there's a fight, maybe there's a couple more big hits, maybe there's. I think he is hampered by the thumb.
Sure.
I think is really what it is.
He's clearly still taped or wrapped underneath.
Wrapped, 100%. There's a brace of some sort on there, right? Which, if you go back to the Logan Stanley punch of a week ago Saturday, which we didn't talk about on the show last week, but it is.
I didn't have a whole lot of sympathy for him.
Well, because he's really, no matter what's happening, if somebody's going to drop the gloves, you should probably watch for a punch in the face.
Well, but he kind of does this. He and Matthew have this sort of move where it's like, I'm skating by a guy, I'm looking the other way, but I am punching that guy in the face with some deniability.
Yep.
And look, the Logan Stanley punch was a sucker punch. It was a shit thing to do, but
with bare fist, it was bang.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just think there is a bit of that they're missing, right? That he's missing, and people notice that and they gravitate towards it. And I think no matter what we talk about here with the Senators this afternoon, there is a certain portion of when the team is not winning, everything is on the table for discussion.
Yeah.
Right? Things are worse, things are more dire when you're not winning. Goaltending, ownership, number 7, your captain, all those things, the lens
Goaltending for sure
is dialed very tight.
Yeah.
Due to lack of wins.
And we're all fans, and fans get frustrated. But man, I don't know that I've ever seen this much. And again, I don't know that it's vitriol towards Brady, but it's sort of like, yeah, you know what? If you were going to offer me a trade for Brady, I'd listen. I don't know that I've ever seen as much of that as I have in the last week or so.
Wow. And it's very short-sighted, anybody with that take. Because all you've been doing for the last 7 years, 7.5 years, is saying that's a unicorn.
Yeah.
That's a rarity.
Yes.
And
the face of the franchise, the personality of the
100%. And then you have this moment where things aren't going well and you're going to be like, I think a lot of that is also, it's couching future fears that in 2.5 years when this guy's contract is up, that he's not going to resign here. You've already heard the Quinn Hughes thing is totally in play for Brady. You're like, that is the boogeyman for most Senator fans, right? And so
who have been burned before, but under a previous regime.
Right. And the fact that Quinn Hughes is a good friend of Brady's, that's the closest line you're going to make. And you're going to be like, see what he did? Oh, see what Matthew did? Like, that was already the thing. See what Matthew did?
And the Sens were on a ramp up that looked very different than the Canucks sort of, I don't know what the fuck you guys think you are. And so I do sort of understand the fear, I guess, if you think that this Sens season, which does seem to be off the rails based on nothing more than poor goaltending, like everything else, I guess the PK also.
Bad penalty kill.
But most of the fancies say the Sens should be a lot better than this. And so sometimes you just have a bad year.
Yes.
But if you are one of those people who wants to be skeptical and wants to be negative, you would go, this is what happened to the Canucks. They jumped up and then they sort of fell back down and they couldn't get it going and their captain said, I'm out of here. I don't see that with Brady. Brady has always been far more, far more open and far more extroverted with the way he embraces the market, I think, than Quinn was in Vancouver.
Yep.
So I just don't see it, but I've never seen so many people frustrated with him. That's all.
And I think a lot of that is the combo of the two things, right? Is the
bad year. I'm pissed off.
Bad year. He's injured.
Yeah.
And this fear. It's like I want to. If I turn my back on you, you can't dump me if I dump you first.
Can I just say I fully expect Brady to take it up a notch at the Olympics? Like, if this is the red button for a lot of people, you've never watched the Olympics before. People will go through a wall in a way that you just can't get yourself there for a random Thursday night game against the Islanders or whatever it's going to be. And that sucks as a fan with season tickets or who's paying his money to go. But that's the truth. And I'm not suggesting at all Brady is intentionally taking it easy now, just get myself to the Olympics. But when you get there and you put your flag on, and look, I think the pool that the Americans are in has like Italy and it's not a good pool. He's going to coast through that. But when they get to the big games, I expect to see the Brady that we saw at Four Nations, whether his hand is shattered or not.
He was a beast.
I just assume that's what's going to happen. And if you are sort of, and it's not unique to the Sens. I've said this about Austin Matthews before he picked it up. If that guy coasts his way into the Olympics and then suddenly returns to 69 goal Austin Matthews at the Olympics, fuck you, right? We've got a problem here. We've got some things to talk about. I understand that fear, but I think people will do things in the Stanley Cup playoffs or in the Olympics that they would not do in the regular season. I expect that to happen.
Like we saw Brady with the injury that he suffered in the Four Nations, whether it was a hip flexor or a groin, whatever his issue was.
Yes.
He was still the most productive Ottawa Senator in a 6-game series against the Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
Compromised.
Yes.
As he was. And so you can't, if he has a great Olympics, for the Americans. You can't.
There's no direct line to he doesn't care about the Senators.
Right, because we saw it in the spring that he was clearly damaged, yet still was the most productive Senator, points-wise. And so I just think there's a lot of fear, maybe too strong, but I think that is the thing is I'm going to protect my heart by saying I think he's leaving anyways in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to be here.
Can I start to create some animosity or a reason for me to be fine with him going?
And I think you just let it play out. You ride the ups and downs. Teams do have steps forward and steps back.
Yeah.
And
is this season dead?
If it's not, it's super
What are they,
close.
7 out as we sit here Sunday night?
7 points out. Yeah.
With a bunch of teams to...
Yeah, a couple games in hand on a couple of teams, but you know what? The way they've been playing, no Barkov, no Tkachuk, no Marchand, no problems for the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
They still win.
Well, I think 6 out of the 8 teams in the Atlantic won on Saturday night.
Same with on Thursday night.
And this is why it's so hard
Everybody
to
but
gain
Florida
ground.
and Ottawa won on Thursday
I remember
night.
seeing a tweet about a week or 10 days ago about the Blue Jackets that said that they had just wrapped up a stretch where they went 6-2-2, and they had gone from being 1 point behind second last in the conference to 3 points behind second last in the conference. And right now in the Atlantic, in the last 10, I can tell you the Leafs are 7-1-2, and that is the 4th best record in this division in that 10-game stretch. Montreal, Detroit, and Buffalo have all been better. So, man, good luck making up ground, right? If 7-1-2 is 4th best in your division, and at the same time you're sputtering. JR had a post from TSN 1200 on Sunday morning saying he doesn't think the Sens are dead. Obviously, they're going to have to come up with a run here at some point because what you have taken away, you have no room for even one more 3-game losing streak, which happens to every team at some point, right? Like 3 games is not a horrible disaster, but you don't have room for that anymore.
But you look at Buffalo went 10 in a row, and that put them on the cusp.
Yes.
On the cusp of a wild card spot.
Well, the Leafs, 7-1-2 are still 1 point out of a playoff spot.
Yes, and so it's fine if you go on a 7-1-2. Ottawa, I believe, is 3-6-1.
Yeah, at the same time that all those other guys.
And so if you were going to do this, and again, this is where that whole I don't care what the analytics say, what the underlying numbers are, because at the end of the day, you're not getting any OT losses. You're not getting any points.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the underlying numbers say. So if the season isn't done, it's perilously close.
Yeah.
It's perilously close because you're just, even last night, you allow 3 goals. That's not terrible.
Nope.
And they say it is a 3-2 league, and you lose 3-2. But the reality is you get on an undermanned Florida team who lost on Thursday night.
Well, and on Tuesday night.
And
like
they
were
roll
waiting
in.
around pissed.
Yeah, and they roll in here, and you have all that's happened and transpired. You get your ass caned.
Well, this is it. I wanted to ask you because a lot of people said if you're that pissed off, like it sounded like on Saturday morning, in the media scrums and this and that, you got to show something tonight. And yet at the same time, the Panthers were in a show something tonight place too after losing a couple of divisional games.
But missing
this
their
week.
3 best players.
So that Saturday game before you went gallivanting around late night on Saturday, did you see the start of it? Like,
I did.
Did you feel like they came out fired up, or was it just another night at the office?
4 shots in the first 16 minutes.
Okay. See, I was back and forth between football and the Leafs.
Yeah.
So
4
normally
shots. Now, to me, they started well.
Yeah.
But again, it's that whole first 4 minutes. They ended up with 19 shots, I believe, on goal in the whole game. Like, I understand this is a battle-tested Florida team. This is not like playing the
newly hot Sabres.
I was going to say the Columbus Blue Jackets, but we'd already picked on them once.
Well, we do that.
Right. It's not like playing Columbus missing their 3 best players.
Right.
This is a battle-tested team with a multiple Vezina winning goaltender, Conn Smythe winner, and battle-tested. Guys who know how to circle the wagons and get it done. But still, you were a playoff team last year. You aspire to be a playoff team this year. You got, with your Well, this is a full roster.
Yep.
Marilainen is your backup goalie, but he's on your roster. You expect him to pick up wins. This is your roster, and you couldn't.
There was a couple from distance there, 2 from the top of the circle, 1 from a little higher than that, 1 like right dead center of the net, where you're sort of like, I don't know if they've force-fed Marilainen a little too much too early, or
Well, at the end of the day,
and he's supposed to be a backup, and right now he's having to carry the mail, so that wasn't obviously
he's a 23-year-old backup, and 2 of those were on the power play.
Yeah, fair enough.
To me, that is the thing that I look at and go, yeah, there is a shot volume of 20 or 21 shots against, but it is 2 out of, you've allowed 2 again on the power play, on the penalty kill.
Yeah.
That is never going to help you. And when the amount of slot chances they give up, there's a lot going on here right at this
100%.
moment. And so it's you may have games in hand and you may have 40 more games to go, but the reality is you're not looking like you have the ability to win a lot of games moving forward. And had I not been on a podcast on Sunday, I'm not even sure I watched that game on, like, last week with that 8-2 game. I tuned it in.
Late night too.
But
stay up and watch this, assholes.
Yeah, but just you flip around
I did.
and yeah, okay. You actually texted me and you're like, I'm feeling better.
That's right, I did.
And I'm feeling worse somehow. And
Sweet.
so
this text has landed exactly how
yes,
I hoped
that's
it
why
would.
that's why I didn't reply. I was just like, I'll in the morning. Yeah, it's and the local media is toxic. And I
What local media?
yeah.
You lose 8-2. You get a 30-second post-game scrum with the coach because it's only the guy who works for the website.
Sorry.
Fuck, come on.
I just mean talk radio.
Yeah.
On the Friday, I tuned in for about an hour from 6 to 7, and then I'm like, psh,
Well,
I'm
we
out.
should talk about part of the reason why they are so apparently toxic at the moment. That other thing that was making news.
What other thing? James Reimer?
Yeah. He's pretty good in your building. If you only play him
He
at home.
owns the building.
If you only play him at home, you could be in a good spot here. Look, there was rumors abound on Thursday. We are acknowledging right up front they are just that, but I am also not going to do this thing where we talk about there being a huge story but not talking about what that story is. And essentially, what arose on Thursday was the idea that multiple players on the team had been cheating, and for one reason or another, Linus Ullmark was the guy who was the conduit to everyone's partners finding out. Not for a second suggesting it's true, no idea. But this seemed to, I would call it, lose containment on Thursday. Someone created a Twitter account, put it out there, let it saturate, and then deleted the Twitter account. That's obviously somebody with a burner. I've seen lots of takes that, this is someone from outside the organization trying to screw with us. We'll get into the statement that the team issued in a moment. What I can say is that this has been out there a lot longer than that. Like, it broke containment Thursday. I heard somewhere in between that Toronto-Ottawa game right after the holidays and New Year's was the first time someone had sort of said to me, hey, you hearing that? That I'm like, no. And then several days later, someone else put it on my radar. And they're just rumors, just like they were on Thursday when it, like I said, broke on Twitter. But this idea that it arose on Thursday on Twitter from this one account and everyone was able to write it off that way, going, just some dick on Twitter. It may have been just some dick on Twitter, but it started making its way around several days before that. The team comes out and puts out a strongly worded statement about how disgusted they essentially, Sens fans have seen the statement. It might as well have been written in all caps. They were pretty upset, but I didn't find it overly at the risk of offending anyone who might be a friend of the show, or I don't know who's involved in all of this stuff. I didn't think it was a particularly well-written statement. And I don't understand the idea that the last line of the statement is essentially, that will be the end of this topic.
This will put an end.
Yes. I've never seen a corporation in any business that's able to say to the media or now that we've decided that for you, you'll stop talking about it. Would you have, because this has been the topic for a while, or for several days now, would you have put out the statement? Because for a little while there, it did seem like, despite the fact that it was sort of simmering under the surface, it hadn't become a big thing till Thursday when the Twitter account, like I said, broke containment, made it a huge thing. It's still just a Twitter thing for me. And in 36 hours, it probably fades away and it becomes one of those things that in a couple of months and a couple of years, hey, remember that time this was a thing on Twitter? I think you could have had that. And yet the team chose to put out their statement. I see the argument on the other side that says, no, you stand up strong for your players. You don't allow this to become a thing. But that forced Hockey Night in Canada and TSN and 32 Thoughts and different American outlets to have to go, well, if the team's issuing a statement, this is now news. I don't know, man. I think you might have been better served to just let it ride itself out.
Well, cards on the table.
Mm-hmm. Rob's not terminally online.
At all, really. And I was watching the game on Thursday night, and when the statement came out, I'm like, what the fuck is this about?
Yep. Which is exactly my point, right?
Yeah.
This might have stayed off your radar.
Yeah. And so I can only assume there's so many people, probably older than me, who are in the exact same spot going, what is this in reference to? I had to actually reach out to you on Friday and go, hey, man, what's
going on here?
What is this?
Yeah.
Because I have an X account, but I am not on it all the time. I'm rarely on it.
Yeah.
And so it did escape me. I had no idea. Now, I am not oblivious to the idea that, the chatter, Linus was in the house on Tuesday night watching or Saturday, whatever it was, within the last week, in the house watching the game, that there is lots of talk, murmur, chatter. What's going on? What is this all about? And I assume we all sort of had some thoughts of our own of what that was.
Sure. Why is he away? What is going on? How is he here now but not?
Right.
Yeah.
Looking well, right? That leaving after being pulled in that Leaf game, which was a shit show for both teams, really. But when you win it, it's less of a shit show.
Now it's just, hey, that was fun. On to the next
see
one.
that? And fuck those guys.
Yeah.
And so there's always speculation. So to me, I understood that when the statement came out, it was in regards to something and probably more heinous than what I was thinking.
Right.
So that's kind of what I chalked it up to. In terms of you asking me, would I have released it? It did draw attention to me, which was...
And again, you didn't say what it was. And maybe you wouldn't. Like, you don't want to dignify it, but you did put out this, hey, all that stuff you're hearing, don't look at it. It's not real.
Well,
what stuff? I better go look at it.
I didn't hear anything. I better find out.
Right.
There is that. And so I can't be disingenuous by saying that that's not a thing, right? Because it did make me go, all right, well, what is going on here?
Right.
Because again, listening to local sports talk radio in the morning, they're going into it and they're like, wow, but we're not talking about this and we're not. I'm like, well, what the fuck are we talking
This
about?
is it. You can't do that.
What has happened? And so I reached out to you as I was going on to do something else. I'm like, oh, Matt will get back to me, or he won't. Matt will say,
fuck Rob.
Fuck it, you can figure it out yourself. Now, Matt was kind enough. Thank you, Matt. When I got back from what I was doing, I'm like,
I like to help the little people.
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. Oh, and Matt's got a little glow. He feels good about himself.
I read on Twitter, so you know it's true.
Yeah, exactly. Girl, you know it's true. And so I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, well, I personally have no problems with the statement.
Okay.
I really don't. I think, again, it is we are interpreting that statement. And you can say to me, it's too harshly written, and I don't mean you. I'm pointing at you, but it is this. I understand this. The lowest of the internet trolls and sick people.
Right.
Like, was that the strongest language we can use? I don't know. It to me, it's. I think if you look at and I haven't heard it in a pile of spaces. Michael Andlauer's reaction to the Brady Tkachuk to New York Rangers talk from last summer.
Yeah, or last spring anyway.
Whenever
so,
it was,
yeah.
when he talked about the soft tampering and
Yes.
and the New York media, and he was very upfront saying, we don't go for this. We stand by our guy.
I'm not even going for
We're
that.
supporting our guy. And whether people outside the market or even people inside this market like it, he, as the owner, has decided that he is going to put his time and effort and his words behind the players in his organization, and it's
Well, and the guy is
consistent with the Tkachuk thing. It's consistent with the Omar
team was
thing.
on the road too, right? Like no one's here at home while the families are being
The fires are being fanned.
right. So I do understand this idea of we are going to not just speak, but speak strongly about what we think about this, and that's fine.
Yep.
But you're pointing at a tweet that was posted and deleted.
Yep.
And there's enough people out there who know this started before that. It's not
Yep.
about the tweet. It didn't come from there. So that's the part that for me I keep tripping over going, yeah, that's what I'd do too if I was trying to put a fire out.
Yeah.
And that's not to say I believe the rumor to be true or that it is true or is not true. It just means it started somewhere else and the tweet was where it broke containment, and this is the point or the thing I can point at and go, see, the guy even deleted his account.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And so, and there was contradictory things within it.
Yeah, of course.
And so it is one of those things. But when you have set the standard and you have said, this is how I am going to run my business, it's consistent
That's true. I hadn't thought of that.
with what Andlauer wants to do and how he wants to run his business, which is, you know what? I'm going to stand by my employees. I'm going to stand by my guys. The rest of you can feel how you
Fuck
want
the
about
small market stuff. You can't push us around. You can't.
it. We're gonna do this, and
We will be
be
strong
together.
here. Yeah.
And so, to me, that is how he wants to run his organization. We can all anybody wants to take shots at that.
Yeah.
But it will be and I saw Elliot in headlines, and maybe again in 32 Thoughts, I didn't listen to it, but he mentioned that as well, right? That it was in support of on the road, the families at home, that it is, we will stand by our guys and by extension, the families.
Yeah.
And so that is, I personally have no issue. And the thing is, the speculation, until we know,
Which we may never.
right, whether you think you have a right to know or don't, until we know why Linus is not here,
Right.
it's speculation will continue. And the most immediate sort of situation that comes to mind is the Corey Perry, Connor Bedard
Sure.
situation in Chicago.
Why is he going? Why'd you cut bait with him? What
$4 million
happened? What did
bucks.
you- yeah.
They signed a guy to a $4
Must
million
be a reason. What's
contract.
going on? What's going on? What's
Leadership
going on?
and all this, and it's Corey Perry and Connor Bedard's mother and all these things.
Again, that was the rumor. Yes.
Yes, a rumor, 100%.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And it's just, it runs wild, right? And Davidson, GM of the Blackhawks, came out and he had his tear-filled
Yeah.
this and that, and his explanation of we support this and this is, and it wasn't until Corey Perry said, yeah, this is something I did, this is blah blah blah, and those, it's never going to stop until people actually understand what it is. Speculation in the social media age,
Yeah. It runs
will
wild.
never stop.
No.
Never stop. And so,
Well, and we have seen it in so many things outside of sports, like on social media. Long after we've already figured out what has happened and there's video evidence of what's happened, there will be another group going, nope, it's this. You know, like you will not reach some people, and these fires will keep burning.
and so you have to be comfortable the Ottawa Senators, the Andlauer, Staios group have to be comfortable. This is how we're running our organization. This is the stance we're taking. We will look after our people because speculation will continue to go. So this is how we choose to do it. We will support our people. And whether the rest of us love it or hate it,
Lump it.
guess what? That is how they're going to go. And personally, I don't have a huge issue with it.
No. I think it's a reasonable thing to do to say we have to step up, defend our people. That is something that dates back to the Melnyk era. That the Melnyk group would create a problem and then somehow find a way to make it worse while trying to solve it and leave their players with their asses hanging in the wind. This is Andlauer, as you quite rightly, man. I hadn't thought of that. The to draw the line to the Brady thing. We're going to stand strong here. We will not be quiet. We will not whatever. We're not the little brother in Ontario. We're not a small backwater NHL team. We will defend our people. And whether the Brady thing or this thing or whatever is true or untrue, we will stand strong and push back on
We will
that.
create an environment where it's us.
We will protect our people, the families, the players.
And the ownership, the management, the players, and by extension, the family. We are us.
Yeah.
It's a closed fist.
Before we take a break, we'll talk some Olympics on the other side as, coming up fast. We will talk
Whole and ice and all.
A little baseball on the other side. I got something for you. But
Good, 'cause I have nothing.
I know. This is one of the
I know.
things before
I know you have
you're
nothing.
bringing nothing. I'll
carry that
what'd I
segment.
say? I'll be the Adam Oates to the Brett Hull.
You said, how about you be the
This
Adam
on,
Oates?
on the one topic coming up. Yes.
I'm like, how can I do that when I don't even know what you want to talk about?
But yeah, I do occasionally send Rob texts that just say, I think some of these things are best sprung upon you rather than
We like to expose your ignorance as opposed to you slowly
we ever?
exposing it on your own.
before you expose anything.
Yes.
Patrick Kane this week became the 50th player to record 500 NHL goals. Pretty good mark. You always think of him as more of a playmaker, more of a setup guy, but he's been around a while.
I think of him as a Stanley Cup goal-scoring winner
It's true.
that nobody ever saw or knew.
Well, it's funny, hey, the Gavin McKenna talk, I saw, maybe it was Scott Wheeler, who I know this market isn't in love with, but sort of pointed out on the wrap-up show on the Athletic Hockey Show Prospect Series after the World Juniors saying, while we're all busy judging Gavin McKenna and what his college numbers mean and what this World Juniors meant, maybe he won't be Celebrini or McDavid or whatever, like we all thought looking at those ungodly junior numbers a year ago he might be, because it is not the end of the world to end up with the next Patrick Kane, which is sort of,
Well,
looking at this player profile, what he might turn out to look more like, right?
And I know you are taking this in a Patrick Kane way.
Yeah.
But if I can just, on your McKenna, Celebrini, Bedard, sort of that 3 years in a row,
Yeah.
bang, bang, bang. If you think about
Canada rocks.
If you think about Celebrini at that Swedish World Juniors as a 17-year-old draft eligible guy, pretty underwhelming, right? It wasn't the Bedard
Well,
show
most of them are,
in
yeah.
Halifax.
That's
right?
right.
Like, Bedard was the standard, right? You look at what he did.
Yes.
Celebrini the next year, you're like, meh.
Sure.
And then he shows up in the NHL and you're like, oh, fucking guy's
this guy, yeah.
he's a killer. And so,
On pace for 130 points this year.
well,
man.
and the fact that McKenna still has 2 years of World Junior eligibility.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Well, Celebrini could have been there this year.
I know. Pump the brakes, people.
Yeah.
Pump the brakes on the 5'10", 135-pound kid, whatever. Like, let's just slow the roll.
So
Patrick Kane.
Yeah, becomes the 50th player to reach 500 goals. He is the 7th guy to do it against the Vancouver Canucks, which is actually a remarkably high percentage when you consider how many teams are in the league. I know it hasn't always been 32.
And the first 5 were Wayne Gretzky.
No, because
I know,
you can only
I'm
hit
just-
that once.
I know, I'm-
But that is where I was going to. No other team in the league,
Kirk McLean was in goal
Yes, ever.
for 5 of them.
no other team in the league has given up more 500th goal. Now, this is one of those things that's just sort of random, and yet the fact that you've been hung up 7 times for this.
But they're in the same division
as a few of these guys.
As Edmonton, Calgary, and Winnipeg of the 80s, right? You had the...
So let's expose your ignorance. Six guys came first to score their 500th against Vancouver. And again, this is an unfair question. Most of the time when I give these to you, they're skill testing. They are what. This is incredibly random, but you have now locked on to one of the key things here is divisional rivalry. Would you like to take... I will give you... No, I'm not going to give you names. I'm going to tell you how many of them were in Vancouver's division at the time that it happened.
Okay.
So there's 1, 2, 3. 3 of the 7 were in the division. The rest are just going to be sort of scattershot here.
Okay. Is Dale Hawerchuk one?
No.
Okay, and that's an outlier. I just wanted... Keith Tkachuk?
No.
Okay, so Gretzky?
Yes.
Messier?
No.
Anderson? No,
No.
he didn't score 500. Let's go with Joey Mullen.
No. Think later. Not like recent, but kind
Joe
of...
McGinley?
No. But you're in now the right era for 2 of these guys who were both in the division with Vancouver at the time that it happened.
So not Joe Newendike.
No.
I don't know.
All right. Patrick Marleau
Yeah.
and Joe Sakic.
Yeah, all right. No,
Briefly was in the Pacific,
Both make
right?
great sense, but just not... I was thinking those 80s...
Yeah. We'll go back here and work through it now chronologically. Frank Mahovlich scored his... Yeah. No. Well, again, I didn't expect it.
I get it.
Stan Mikita. Yeah.
Stan Mikita's Donuts.
Yeah. Then Gretzky, then Sakic, then Marleau. Steven Stamkos randomly scored his from deep in the southeast, finding just by chance being against Vancouver. And then, now Patrick Kane. So, I just found it interesting.
This is right up there with your Bridget Bardot and how many other people from We Didn't Start the Fire are still alive.
I really thought, as a history guy, you would have had a better...
Chubby Checker.
That you didn't even... I didn't even know Bob Dylan was in the song. Like, really? Like,
yeah. Anyway, just one of those things where you're like, fucking Frank.
I just found it interesting that
it is
7 guys had done it against Vancouver when only 50 have ever done it. Like, for some reason, that struck me as just one of those little
And the fact that those 80s high scoring... only one.
Like you said, Messier or Hawerchuk, or I guess they were in, what did they call it, the Smythe back?
Yeah, Smythe.
Yeah, the 4 different division. Anyway.
You had Adams, Norris.
Smythe,
Norris,
Patrick.
Smythe, Patrick.
But I could never remember which was which because I was still
Norris
young and
the Smythe.
The Norris was the Leafs, Blues,
Minnesota
North Stars,
Detroit,
Blackhawks.
Yes,
the Chuck Norris.
The
division.
Chuck Norris division, man. Basil McRae.
Yeah,
love that era.
We will take a break here.
Not good for the CTE, but love that era.
It's true. We'll take a break here. We'll circle back in a couple minutes. We'll talk some Olympics. We'll talk some baseball. Lots still to come here on the Tall Can Audio podcast as I go looking for a throat lozenge.
Here's Campbell handing on to Kane again. Lots of head fakes there trying to shake Timonen. Threw one in front. Oh my, it rattled around and it kicked on back and then score. We saw no light. We saw no signal. And we're not sure if they've sent a signal of a goal yet, but they are celebrating at the other end of the ice. What chaos.
Still plenty to cover on this edition of the Tall Can Audio podcast. But first, a second pint. What'd you grab, man?
Well, in honor of the mid-show entertainment.
Yeah, I introduced Rob to, you're not a South Park guy, eh?
Well, you didn't introduce me. I remember seeing the actual show with that on it.
Oh, okay.
But that full song?
Yeah. So we were listening in the break to Suck on My Chocolate Salty Balls by a chef from South Park, which is just brilliant.
Yes. So I am drinking from Anderson Brewing, coming in at 4.6%. Their
The
brown
balls
ale.
falls. Yeah, no.
Their brown ale.
I do have a brown ale over here.
See? Inspiration.
Chef's got me in the mood for something here, man.
Put them in your mouth and suck them.
Yeah. This is the Skokie Tail Brown Ale from Sawdust City. One of the ones our friend Angela Thompson hooked me up with back in December. And the idea here, because I had a couple of them over the holiday season, it's supposed to taste a lot like a beaver tail. And it does.
Really? You get cinnamon. You get a
Got
little
the
bit
pastry right up front to it.
and cinnamon. It's got to be cinnamon. Am I right?
Yeah. A little sweetness on the tail end. It's gorgeous, man.
Okay.
Skokie tail.
Skokie tail from
Sawdust
City.
Yeah. So
Okay, well, my first pull of this
excited to have this again.
of this brown ale is we expect a little bit of maltiness, low sort of bitterness. And I'm getting a chocolatey kind of.
Really?
Yeah, no, surprisingly so. So, anyways, first pull, it's actually quite noticeable. Kind of like if there was a bit of a caramel in it.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, that's kind of where we're at. Anderson.
Well, this one I have talked about on the show over the holiday season. I know not everybody, shame on you, caught all the holiday editions of the podcast while you were off doing other things. But yeah, this one has that. It reminds me a little, although the flavor's a bit different, of the blueberry pancake from Whippersnapper in terms of being able to actually place that pastry feel
Identifiable.
into the beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. 5.9% over here.
No fruit in my pancake.
Yeah, I typically would agree with that. I'm not even really all that big on like chocolate chip in my pancake. Just give me a pancake.
Nothing.
Like
I want a pancake. That's
And yet-
100% true.
In that beer, it turns out pretty nice.
But-
I'm as you know, I'm willing to try a lot of things in a beer that I won't try in
In a beer.
in real life.
Yes.
Yeah, or in
Vegetables.
actual food.
Yes.
Don't put vegetables in my beer either, you fuckers.
Here's a green.
Hot peppers and
Yes.
shit.
Here's a
when you-
green bean.
Hey Matt, here's a jalapeno beer. How about you embarrass yourself in front of the TCA audience?
And then later, when you shit your pants
Not that much later.
on your own,
We're gonna take a break now.
so I'm embarrassed.
Did you happen to? You mentioned earlier in the show, just quickly because we won't be able to touch on all of them here. But Saturday, man, a couple of classics in the NFL.
Touch them
playoffs.
all. Carolina Panthers, L.A. Rams.
That was wild, man.
Followed
Turned out to be
by-
a great game. The Bears-Packers game. The Packers blowing an 18-point lead in the second half, and then seemingly feeling like the Bears are going to give it back. You would have been gone to the marathon movie by the time that happened, but man, that kept me up. I was going to bed, like I've been a little under the weather as soon as the Leaf game was over, and yet I'm going to watch the first couple minutes.
I
after
actually
halftime.
thought that Green Bay won that game.
Okay, no,
That's-
Bears.
And I woke up this morning and was like, not the case.
No. Bills just before we started recording, or as we've been recording, have gotten by Jacksonville.
Is it finished?
Yep. 24, 21, 27, 23.
27-24, I think.
And yet we checked the score in the third quarter, and it was like, 12-3 or 13-6 or something.
13-7,
Yeah,
I
and you're like,
believe,
what a dud.
in the third quarter.
Apparently turned into a shootout here as it went on. But there's just something, we've talked about it before, man.
The London Jaguars.
The NFL playoffs never disappoint. Like, even when you don't have a horse in the race, you're just like, I wasn't interested in either one of those games yesterday, and suddenly was like, Jesus Christ, that was awesome.
Johnny High Voice over there.
I'm just happy I can still get up there at the moment.
To me, as a very casual NFL fan,
same here.
I always find the Super Wild Card Weekend is always the weekend I will drop in and sort of take it all in.
Take it all.
And maybe
suck on my jaw.
Yeah, maybe conference finals. Maybe those are the two weekends I, as a casual fan.
And even when the Super Bowl is good, it's almost always the weakest of the playoff rounds.
Right. Yes.
And part of it is the media hype and and you've had to wait 2 weeks to finally just be like, all right, just play the game.
There's how much Gronk can I really take?
How many people have asked that before?
Yes, it's actually any Gronk is all I can handle.
So a fun Saturday. We won't get too much into it because the Eagles game is just starting here in about 20 minutes, which is the main event of the weekend, I think. Eagles 49ers. A couple of the ones to come after that. But that was fun on Saturday. It had me flipping. Normally on a Saturday night, I'm flipping between the Leafs game and the Sens game. Sens got bumped out for for football on Saturday, and I think I made the
How
right
dare
decision.
you? How dare you?
Yep. You happen to see Alex Bregman off to the Cubs?
I did not see that.
Yeah, just late Saturday night. Right around the same time the Bears were pulling one out of the fire. Not a bad night in Chicago. Yeah, he's leaving the Red Sox. 5 years, $175 million.
5 years, 175.
Yep.
Okay.
Red Sox wouldn't go there. They've been hesitant to go long term.
Competitive. Anytime I see the Red Sox have made a, air quotes, competitive offer, that to me means it's not competitive.
This is fucking a debacle, though, right? You sign Alex Bregman without telling Rafael Devers you're going to do it. Now we have 2 third basemen. We're going to piss off Devers.
One of them and trade him.
Move him over to first. He's furious. He's pissed off. Those are the same
We'll
thing.
trade him to San Francisco.
Yeah, we'll send him out of here. And 114 games of Alex Bregman later, he's gone too. Well done, Boston, man. That is
which
well
just
played.
means Bo Bichette,
That will be where they center
the
their
Red
attention.
Sox.
Yeah, trying to get
he'll
something.
wreak havoc in that stadium.
Yeah. He's supposed to also meet with the Phillies on Monday. Bichette is, so we'll see.
He's not coming back.
I don't think so either. Like, they haven't closed the door on it publicly, but it would make very little sense after the Okamoto deal.
Do you see a world where Toronto signs Tucker or Bichette?
Yeah. Yeah, I could still see
You do?
Tucker. I think Bichette is less likely now. Although if you could talk him into second base and then do like a platoon thing with Clement and Jimenez at short, maybe that's
the
workable.
thing is,
but you've already got...
it's a no-doubter that Jimenez is the starting shortstop for the Toronto Blue Jays
Yes.
next year. Like, that's not even...
And that's why I said, because Bichette would be at second.
Right. So, to me, if you had... Because if you bring Bo back, and that's where I personally would spend my money,
Yeah.
and then you had Ernie, you could have Ernie virtually in the lineup every day, Ernie Clement, as a third baseman, shortstop, second baseman, first baseman. Like, somewhere in there, somebody's got a day off.
Well, I think Okamoto... I don't think Ernie's ever playing first again. Okamoto will be at first with Vladdy's DH or taking a
But
day
if
off.
Okamoto's going to be your third baseman?
But Ernie, you would play Ernie at third those days because he's a better defensive third baseman.
I know, but all I'm suggesting is you could have Ernie in the lineup
You could.
in one of those 4 positions every day.
It just doesn't...
Just about every day.
Yeah, I guess. You would put... Like, there's no platoon there with Bo. So Bo's going to play 159...
Yeah. Well,
150 games or
150.
Yeah.
And then if you had Jimenez at 150 and you had, I'm just suggesting between Vladdy and Okamoto and a couple of spot-ins injuries,
Yeah.
you have Ernie. You could have Ernie in the lineup.
You could.
130 games. My
but for
math
me,
is spotty, but you understand.
Yeah. No, I think that's possible, but I do think Tucker is now more likely. And that doesn't mean I think they're getting him.
But
I think
it's
they're
more
still in the
crowded
mix.
out there.
Yeah, but he's also a left-handed bat like Clement and Okamoto. Like, you're starting to get heavy again on the right side. I like Tucker's bat. But and then I'll figure it out. If it means Nathan Lucas has got to be somewhere else, or I don't know, man.
Because and there is a lot of talk that because if you don't do anything
This
now,
segment was really just supposed to be to dunk on the Red Sox.
yeah, sorry, if you don't do anything now, you are bringing back this lineup with Okamoto, and you're hoping for a Santander bump back.
And
That's it.
I do think people are sleeping on how good like one brutal year has seemingly
I get it.
told people he stinks. You needed that year to make the contract work, right? Like in terms of getting your value up front. But I don't think that means he's going to be a disaster this year.
No. I agree. That are we looking for the 49 home or 47 home run?
No, but he's going to be, for me, if he's healthy, a 33 to 37 home run guy.
Could he be a 30 home run guy?
100%. Yeah.
Yes. And so are you willing to put him in left and sort of forgo a little bit of the, frying
Well, the
pan
Okamoto
glove?
at third tells you they're less focused on defense than they have been in the past. But
you can't at the same time go, the Okamoto signing he's a contact hitter with a little bit of power, but a lot of contact.
Yeah.
That they want to stay with this.
100%. I'm just saying this narrative that we have all not incorrectly followed that it's been defense first, defense first, defense first. We saw them last year in the playoffs make decisions that were clearly offense first, and Okamoto at third says offense first, not
the left side. If you got Santander and Okamoto on your left side, you've clearly said that line is open for business.
What you've clearly said is, Jimenez, get your sprinting shoes on, buddy, because you're going to cover some ground.
We're going to ask Okamoto to stand on the bag.
But I cannot believe how badly the Red Sox have botched. You gave up 10 years
Asset
of
management.
controlled Rafael Devers for 114 games of Alex Bregman. You needed to understand that after giving up Devers, you didn't have a choice. You had to give Bregman whatever he wanted.
Yes.
Like, they are the 5th highest ticket price in baseball, and they spend the 21st most money of their revenue on salary. That in Boston won't fly, man.
Well, that's a Fenway group, and we'll see what happens, right? Since they've made that whole sort of
trying to become a conglomerate or
multi-sport.
No, it looks like they're selling the Penguins. I didn't really ever understand why they bought the Penguins, but
it seemed like an odd.
Now they are making a pile of money on it, so
they almost doubled their money on that. But to me, it is. I would hope for Bo and see what happens in the outfield. I know Varsho is 1 year out from being an unrestricted, and you are looking at a young Barger and Wright, and George is 1 year out again from being a UFA. It is tenuous out there.
And they got $70 million coming off the books next year between Gosman and between. Well, you wouldn't want to see Varsho leave, but if you want to, you have room to do the Tucker.
But I really want to see Varsho's arm. What his arm looks like this year, if there is a bounce back through the offseason and he's got some kind of he could.
But it's not a disaster if Varsho leaves and you keep Miles Straw as your center field. If you've brought on Tucker and the rest of your lineup is just going to mash, you can put Miles Straw.
If you're going to get the Tucker power to offset the Miles Straw, zero power,
no power. Let me ask you. I want to hit you with something here because I did some reading around, and a bunch of these came out after the men's Olympic hockey Canadian roster was released. Everybody's B team, right? Everybody does the snubs, which I hate that term. Maybe your guy wasn't fucking good enough.
Your guy's not good enough.
Well, you and I both have guys on the B team, so but not everybody's a snub.
Well, we're a couple of B team guys. That's how that works.
This is the B pod.
This is the B podcast.
TCAB. This is the TCB podcast. Where the fuck did I put this note here? Because that would seem like something I should have had ready for the occasion. Like I said, a bunch of different outlets put out their Canadian B team. I have kind of taken what I liked from each one and didn't like, but most of them are very similar. Similar to what what you and I did on the A team. Don't get hung up on the lines. I just want to get these names out there. On line 1, we have Connor Bedard, Mark Scheifele, and Wyatt Johnston. Line 2, Morgan Geekie, Robert Thomas, and Matthew Barzell. Konechny, Bennett, Jarvis, Hyman, Strome, and Dylan Gunther. And then your 13th, 14th, however you want to handle that, John Tavares and Drake Batherson. So, again, I did sort of do them in lines. That's why
But
your Jarvis is on the third line, Bennett on the third line, even though those were your last cuts from the A team. So it was just functional. On the blue line, we had Matthew Schaefer and Mackenzie Weegar, Jacob Chikrin and Evan Bouchard, Aaron Ekblad and Brendan Montour. And then your 7 and 8 was Dobson and Vince Dunn.
Dobson I was waiting for him to show up in your.
And then in goal, Blackwood, Wedgwood, and Jet Greaves. So.
Jet! No?
Yeah, I don't have a clue what that was.
That's McCartney. Come on, man. That's.
Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
Wings?
Jet. McCartney and the Wings.
All right. So the names are there. Like I said, you can juggle however you want. But hearing that group, where does that fit for you
No Aiden Hill, eh?
I guess he could. He's just been hurt too much. Like both the Woods in Colorado have been good.
Yeah.
Jet Greaves has been
good
enough
in
to get Columbus to last
I
place.
I get. Last in the East.
Yes,
not the same as
that's
last.
True. Hearing those names, where does that Canadian team, had they been allowed to enter the Olympics, rank for you?
Fifth.
Okay, he's already got her figured out. Who's ahead of them?
Canada, A.
I hope so.
The United States.
Yes.
Czechs, Swedes. That team has a chance to beat the Finns for fifth.
Yeah, oh yeah, it does. And it doesn't matter. You've named the four teams. It would be I got the Swedes third and the Czechs fourth. But you're right. Those are the four that would be ahead of them. I have seen an awful lot of people, as all these articles come out, go, that Canadian B team's going to podium. And I think that is a slap in the face to the Swedes especially.
Yeah. I think that's super. That's if it gets thin at the back end.
I do think the B team might have the better goaltending.
The goaltending is not even where I start with that.
Okay.
It's sort of, it's thinner in the bottom six and it's thinner in the 8 defensemen, period.
The B team.
The B team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
In terms of podium, that's whoever's writing that is.
Well, and it's all of these, it's a 1-game playoff. Could this team beat the Czechs in a quarter? Sure, right? Like that could happen.
Yes.
But it can always happen that way. But yeah, this myth that certainly a Canadian B team can play in an Olympics credibly.
Oh, 100%.
But I don't think it's going to hang. It's losing in the quarterfinal if it draws.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
But I think it is very competitive.
Sure.
That team beats Germany.
Yeah, no, of course.
That team beats
Slovakia, Switzerland.
a Swiss. Swiss is to me the team that I
Well, they beat our A team at a couple of Olympics. We went in 2010 to a shootout with them, and in 2006 they beat us flat out with Marty Gerber just shutting us down, man.
Gerber, baby.
As he does.
Yes. And so to me, there's some good players on that team.
Yeah.
And there's not a bad player on that team.
What's interesting is who would coach it? Like, what kind of system does that team play?
Rick Tocchet.
Yeah, to me, that's another tuck your nuts back and just defend. And I'm looking at Dylan Gunther and Connor Bedard and
Morgan Geekie.
Yeah, like a bunch of. I want somebody who's going to unleash hell, right? Like just whip the horses and let them go.
What's his name?
Sheldon Keefe?
No, I'm thinking of the guy in Washington.
Oh, Spencer Carberry.
Yeah,
the carburetor.
That's the guy. That's the guy I'm going with.
Yeah,
he's going to coach.
I'd watch that. Like that's a great call, man. I think he's Canadian. I know he can't coach the Frontenacs.
Yeah,
so
I think that's the guy I'm going with.
That's a great call, man. So, yeah,
look at me.
I think it's always an interesting discussion when people come out and go, "I'll see a Canadian B team." You actually have to go through it. You have to put the names down and go, well, now how do you feel, right? Against a Pasternak or certainly against what the Swedes are going to bring.
Well, you start looking at that defense you put out there and you're like, oh, we're going to put Chychrun in or we're going to do...
There was almost nothing there to shut anybody down. That's a get up and go defense, right? That is a breakout defense.
Yes.
Bouchard is on there. Schaefer is on there. Mackenzie Weegar, I guess, is your most defensive.
I love Mackenzie
I do too, but yeah, with Noah Dobson.
Good Canada guy. Schaefer.
No yeah. Probably your number one D on that team.
100%. I love to me, Matt, you did all the work.
Well, really, I just stole from everybody else's work.
Well, that's
podcasting.
That's 100%, man, how it goes. And so in terms of discussion points, Aiden Hill is the guy. You got to take one of your Woods.
Wedgwood, then. You're out.
Wedgwood's out?
Yeah.
Wedgwood's been good, though.
I know, but it's that balance between history and, you've been good for 30 games or...
Yeah, but I need you to be good right now.
Yep.
I don't care what you did last year. I need you to be good right now.
Well, it's a great segue, Raw, because I have some thoughts. Well, he needs another beer for what's coming. This Canadian women's Olympic team was announced on Friday on TSN. Very similar presentation to what the men's was, a pre-recorded video with kids. I know the men's, I don't know that they ever mentioned the women. The men's video was recorded with kids from a Calgary program. I didn't catch if this was the same program that announced the women's, but, well put together, well done, which is more than I can say for Troy Ryan and Gina Kingsbury, because
You're going to take it.
I don't care for this roster. And it's funny, I've been sort of sitting on this all weekend and...
Stewing. Would you say stewing?
Yeah, I've been under the weather, so things have been stewing. And
Yes. Percolating, fermenting.
yeah, seriously. It's not been a great place to be. But I was texting with a couple people, and it's like my distaste for this roster means 60-40 USA in a gold medal game is still the worst case scenario for this team.
Do you want to disclose your sources?
Who are my sources? This is my opinion on the team.
You said you were speaking.
Oh, I was just texting with a couple of different people that were also following the roster announcement. A couple of them who disagreed with me, a couple who didn't. And this is just what sports nerds do. And I text about this shit.
No, I totally get it.
No.
You want to keep your sources close to your vest.
Well, yeah. For their protection more than mine.
Yeah.
They don't want to be associated with this shit.
Names will be withheld to protect the guilty.
I will say this, and I will use a name because I said it on Twitter. It's exactly what Cheryl Pounder said on this show at the beginning of November when she was in studio.
Well,
towards the very end.
Pound Town is not going to lead you astray.
She had said to me that the Americans, that Canada was full value for these Olympics. We'll see what happens. It's a knife fight with the Americans. It always is. But that the Americans were far better set up for the next quadrennial than Canada is right now.
Inside
in terms
knowledge.
of what's in the pipeline.
Yep.
Not just what might be coming. What's already here, but that is 22 or 23 versus what we have that might be 29 or 30.
Correct.
I'm sure she'll be happy to have our endorsement.
Well, it's not my endorsement. I am willing to go with her take on it. That's really what that is.
It's never going to steer you wrong to say correct when you hear Cheryl's opinion.
And Pound Town, her descriptor, not mine.
I have not heard that. She did say that when she was in here, one of her nicknames was LBs, people used to call her.
Yes, but she said Pound Town. She referred to, she liked to be hard with the stick.
I like that.
That's her own name. I haven't given that to her.
Okay. But that's been on my mind since she was in here. And we went out and lost 4 in a row to the Americans in the rivalry series.
Yeah.
And then they announced this roster. And this roster has an average age of 29 to the Americans' 26, which doesn't sound big, but
It's
in
huge.
a group of 23.
In an average.
Yeah, it takes a lot to pull things that far apart. This Canadian team is smaller and slower and older than the Americans. And I don't think
Are those good, Matt?
I don't think you can be all 3 of those at once. I think you might be able to stand being one of them, maybe 2 of them.
Which one? Which one? If you could have one, which would it be? Slower, smaller, older.
You can be older.
Yes. That's
if
the one I'm
you
choosing.
are. Yeah, because we're old as fuck. And
Yeah, but I'm
still relevant,
I'm going to be old.
yeah,
but
I'm still fast.
But I'm going to be quick and skilled.
Yes, I think that's okay. You're none of them in comparison to the Americans.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
Well, you're really
you, Matt,
not
'cause
that young.
I am.
Or spry.
Hey, somebody once said that guy's got speed like a 15-year-old gymnast. That's a
It was
quote.
you.
No, that was not me. And that's an actual quote.
Taught like a 14-year-old.
Nobody ever said
Nobody
that.
ever said taught.
Todd and I have never been in the same sentence. But quick is a 15-year-old gymnast.
Okay.
So, Matt,
I buy it, man.
take it back.
Yep.
Take it back.
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
So I look at some of the people who've been left off, and maybe obviously in coinciding who was left on. And the name that jumps out to me is the Ottawa Charge's own Joss Larocque, who's 37 years old, has clearly lost a step, has not been anywhere near what she's, obviously for a long time, one of Canada's top shut down defenders for 3 Olympics before this. I'm really surprised that she has gotten the call here, and especially at the expense of, I think, Mika Zandyhart has obviously had a better season, has some history with the national team, and is significantly younger and deserves it. But more than that, Chloe Primerano is the clear best Canadian prospect in the system, a defender who I certainly grant you has not yet shown she can dominate at the national team level. But I'm not asking her to dominate. I'm asking us to be aware of the fact of exactly what Cheryl Pounder said. We are behind the 8 ball in comparison to the Americans and what's going to happen in the next quadrennial. And you bring somebody along who can learn, who can perform, and is good enough to play. The criticism is she can't dominate. Well, Renata Foss is going to dominate, right? Like, I don't need Chloe Primerano to be there at this point. And the other name on the defensive side that I probably would have taken off with Joss Larocque is Kaylee Tabin, who made it. Katie Tabin, excuse me, who made it. This is her first time, and this is one of those things that people are using to say Canada is looking to go younger. Well, Tabin is 26. She's not on the top pair on her own PWHL team in Montreal, which to me, I don't know that you could look anywhere on the men's team and find someone who's not on their own club team's top pair. She's certainly capable. They like that she's tough. They like that she will be, someone who can clear people out in front of the net. This is part of being
bang.
This is part of being smaller than the Americans. They have 8 players who are over 5'10", 3 over 6 foot. Canada only has 3. I know the women's game isn't as physical as the men's, but it's more physical than it used to be, and that's going to matter.
Ever has.
Yeah. So I understand why Tabin was attractive to them in that role, but if you're not even on your own club team's top pair, I don't think you can play at an Olympic level.
So you and I spent a pile of time in discussing our male Olympic rosters.
Yeah.
And we talked about lessons learned in 06, lessons not learned in 06, what it is. And it comes down to 100% that loyalty. Loyalty
That's what's won out here.
Will bite you in the fill in the blank, depending on how big the bite is.
Hockey players on both genders have big asses. Like, it's going to have to be a big
100%.
Yeah.
Am I wrapping this up?
No, we're not wrapping it up.
Not wrapping, but in terms of...
They took no risks. They have leaned exactly on the core that they have had for a long time, including up front, Nat Spooner, who has returned and has been okay, but not great. Brianne Jenner here in Ottawa has been really good to start this season, but was terrible last year, to be honest. Like, didn't carry the team like she was supposed to. And you could have made room there for Danielle Serdachny. And this is the controversial one.
Ottawa
that one. And this is interesting. She hasn't been good. I would have blamed, if I'm being real with you, the Ottawa coaching staff with how they used Danielle Serdachny last year.
That's what I would do too.
She was selected in the expansion draft to go to Seattle. She hasn't been any good there either. She hasn't been able to find it. And yet, in the last several world championships, she's been fantastic in the bottom 6. She has scored in both of the last 2 gold medal games, including the golden goal in 2024. Yeah. I don't know yet the difference between the international game and the PWHL game, but there's something right now.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, it's reffing.
That is a huge part of it, but that suggests she can hang at that level, and she's not just hung there, she's been clutch at that level. And if you're going to show loyalty to 37-year-old defenders, and, you're not Spooners and you're Brianne Jenners, why no loyalty to Danielle Serdachny? I guess it's, for some people, you better have performed in the PWHL. For some, you didn't have to.
Are you putting this all on Scepter?
No, I don't think it's just that. Because obviously that wouldn't have impacted, Serdachny being in Ottawa or...
Yeah. I know, but in terms of...
Well, and there's one other kind of page on this. And for 2 years now, everyone has understood that Yves Gascon is the heir apparent to Canada's net in goal. She has been dominating the WHCA down in the NCAA and just carrying the load there, and she's been fantastic. And you have chosen, because everyone knows, I don't. And Renee Desbiens and Emmerich Maschmeyer are the starting tandem again, right? The starter and the backup. That's been the way it's been since 21, 22. And I think that's fine. So if we're now taking a third goaltender, I think it's fair to look at Kaylee Osborne, who got the nod and has been selected. She has started every game for the New York Sirens. She's got 3 shutouts already. She's been very good. But if we're taking a third goalie who probably isn't going to see the ice, Yves Gascon, who is supposed to be the next one and who is, killing it in the NCAA, take her along, get her that experience. Same with, like I said, similar to Chloe Primerano. Like, even if you're not going to use them a ton, take them and allow them to have this experience, because you've got nobody right now from the NCAA. You have only 3 players who've been born, who were born in the 2000s versus the Americans, who have 8 players who were born in the 3000s. Like, they're just the 3000s, the 2000s.
I was going to let you go. Yeah, you know what? Everybody knows what you're talking about.
They're not just like, they have found a way to still take Kendall Coyne Schofield and Hillary Knight and Alex Carpenter and also Abby Murphy and like this next Layla Edwards and Carolyn Harvey and what, like, these NCAA players who are already like 2 of their best players despite being like 22 or younger. I just think Canada needed to find a way to stop being so risk averse and go, I need somebody who's going to score a little more. I just think, similarly to what we talked about with the men's team, you and I went aggressive. I'm taking Bedard. I'm taking Celebrini. And now that one seems silly. He's on pace for 130 points. I'm taking Schaefer. The women didn't do it either, man.
Do you feel like Canada's given up on this quadrennial?
No. I think Canada is in a very go for it right now. Let's milk everything we can out of Nat Spooner, Brianne Jenner, Joss Larocque, like this old guard, which is an unfair statement a little bit. Like, they do still have Sarah Fillier. They do still have Renata Fast. They do still have like some really talented players there. But instead of being willing to take a little bit of risk, this was, I'm taking no risk. These are the people who got it done for me 4 years ago. They will do it again this time.
Well,
that's a mistake for me.
Yeah, okay, but that to me means when you look at how the rivalry went, you look at how the last World Championship went.
Mm-hmm. You lost 2 in a row to the Americans.
Yeah, and you look at how the rivalry went.
Lost 4 in a row to the Americans. Swear loyalty to that. Let's keep doing that.
So this is what I'm saying is, has this quadrennial, you just went, fuck it, we're gonna last gasp with this old guard.
That's a mistake.
Yeah, so that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I
start now.
Turn the page, man. And throw some extra skill in there. Throw your Matthew Schaefers and your Connor Bedards and your whatever. Throw Danielle Serdachny, because she scored a couple of gold medal game goals for you before. Throw Chloe Primerano in there to run the second power play.
Serdachny and Sam Bennett. Go.
Yeah, no.
The clutchiness. I'm talking about the clutchiness is all I'm talking about. Is the stats alone.
It's hard to compare. Danielle Serdachny scares me less in terms of taking a ridiculous penalty at a terrible time.
All right. So sorry. In that scenario, you're shitting more on Sam Bennett than on. Okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't how I took that.
Well, and look, he's a Conn Smythe winner. We had the debate. You and I both left him off our men's team, but said it was difficult to do.
Yes.
So I don't assume that Danielle Serdachny omission was easy or taken lightly.
Clutchiness is where I was going, as opposed to stupid penalties.
Sure.
And so and when I say give up, because you and I both come from a background of Olympic sport, of quadrennial, of training for and preparing for.
So if you're asking me, am I taking all these young players because I've given up on us having any chance? No,
what's funny?
To me, I think they have a better chance if you take some of these.
You went in the opposite direction. I was thinking taking older players, more established players,
just as a farewell.
Your Jenners, your Spooners, your all those, instead of younger players.
Yeah.
Right now for this Olympics.
Yeah.
Instead of going, okay, we're going to start fresh in 27, and we're going to run forward with that with the younger goalies. All those things.
Yeah, like if you're pretty sure Yves Gascon is going to be your starter in 4 years, take her as your third now.
100%.
Kaylee Osborne is hot now, but you're the third goalie. We had this
conversation in 2010. That's
right.
what we were talking about.
Well, and we talked just a few minutes ago about who's hot now, right, on the men's side and whatever else. And so I get it, Kaylee, But that's for my starter, or that's for my power play quarterback, or whatever. Like where I'm trying to balance their history with the program and the season they're having right now. For my third goalie, give me the future. Take somebody who can learn from
100%,
Desbiens
yes.
and Mashmeyer. And I just think at every turn. And look, there are new players. There is young blood. Sophie Jakes is going to be great. Like, I don't know. Sarah Fillier's 24. I expect her to probably wreck the tournament here. That'd be awesome. But I don't know, man. I looked at this, and when I saw the roster coming, and they do it in alphabetical order. So as I'm watching it, and they jump from one letter, like, oh, you're not taking
Forward,
Serdachny. Yeah.
D,
Well, they do all the
goalie.
D first, then all the goalies first, then all the D, then all the forwards. And in each one, they're going by alphabetical. And so you go, oh, shit, they just jumped the S's. There's no Serdachny, or there's no Primerano on the defense, or what. And I'm like, to me, a lot of it jumped out as just risk averse, very similar to what the men did. We'll take Anthony Cirelli. We'll take Drew Doughty, who's been brutal for the last couple of weeks since they announced him on the team. I don't know, man. It's a Hockey Canada
guy,
thing.
Yeah, he's a guy who I have,
He's Joss Larock.
yes,
Yeah.
and faith that when the bright lights shine,
Yeah. Well, and
So-
Joss Larock won't be rattled,
no, she should,
But-
certainly will not.
but I don't think she can keep up with, like we said, smaller, slower.
Yeah. Okay. But if you put her further back if you make her in the bottom pairing,
I hope so.
okay. And I think what it comes down to here is your awareness. If you look back at 2022, the women's Olympic roster,
Yeah.
and your understanding, your personal,
Yes.
understanding and awareness of that roster versus a post PWHL,
It's been so much fun, man.
so different.
Yes.
And this conversation,
We can now have these I don't know. Yeah, that girl's playing over in Europe, and this one's in the NCAA.
Yes.
This one's in the now defunct CWHL, but the PHF is still
Yes.
I don't know who's playing against who.
right?
I know the names that we all know, right? Like Poulin does what she does, and Erin Ambrose does what she does,
Yes.
but it's hard to compare. And now, I think this has been the best part of this, as far as the Olympic selections go, is I've been watching these players now the way I watch the men, right? Every week, these games are on, and we're going to have these debates now, and from an educated place, in my
Well,
humble
a
opinion.
best on best, because you are getting more and more of the international best on best,
right.
as opposed to
Like Jen Gardner's making her debut. She's been playing on a line with Poulin and Stacey in Montreal. She's good enough on her own, but you've got a ready-made line now. It's chemistry, like that's a name I wouldn't have known going in 22.
yin yang yin.
Yes. First of all, Jen Gardner wouldn't have been there, but the same way we would have talked about Hyman with McDavid, right? Like,
Yes, of course. Chemistry from a club situation.
and we didn't know about that before. And now the PWHL has allowed this
Yes.
area to watch and say, okay, I'm familiar with that player and this player and people that I wouldn't have been before.
And that to me, whatever is
yeah, we can debate Olympic teams, but this has been benefit, man.
But a knowledge, a way more knowledgeable, because in those days, whether it was the CWHL or whatever,
Yep.
it was North American players.
Yep.
Whereas we now have a much more integrated international
Yep.
professional women's league happening right
And
now.
we can actually have these more knowledgeable debates.
Yes, in a best on best,
Yeah.
because this league is best on best,
Yep.
and you extrapolate that and you put it into an Olympic scenario.
Yeah.
You have that now, whereas 4 years ago,
No,
not
your
so
point
much.
is well made. When they announced that team in 2022, A, I don't even remember if it was on TV, but B, I wouldn't have had a pot to piss in terms of having an opinion. I actually feel pretty strong about what we've seen here over the last. So this league has allowed this to become more
Correct.
mainstream, more something for us all to understand and grab onto.
A scenario with which we can all feel comfortable going, I know hockey.
Yeah.
This is how I see
Here's this. I like this player. I wouldn't have done this.
this. You did this wrong.
Am I any more or less knowledgeable?
You fucked up.
When I named my picks for the men's team. I
You
don't.
were
It's just
not.
one guy's opinion,
Yes,
right? It's
and,
just
and everybody else
yeah, has
was
one.
the same.
Yep.
And
Now we
when
can
it-
do it on both sides, man.
when it comes down to with the women's game, you go, this is how I see this. This is how I see this. And everybody else was the same. And now we can do it on both sides, man. When it comes down to with the women's game, you go, this is how I see this. This is how I see this. And everybody else was the same. And when it comes down to with the women's game, you go, you can go, everyone's going to have the same 16 players.
Yes. It's always the last couple.
It's where is that last 4 to 6? And
Yep.
you go, that's where if you can find that in the women's game at a spot where it wasn't 4 years ago, that's the real win here. And it'll be interesting to see what 2030
Yeah.
looks like in terms of where we are all more knowledgeable.
Right.
Like in this conversation here, you're bringing way more because I'm not as invested in the PWHL as you are.
Yeah, no, I love sitting down. No different, if the Leafs or the Sens or whatever I'm playing tonight, I'm watching the Charge, I'm watching the Golden Knights, whatever.
And so it's how does that get pulled
right
from here in the next 4 years?
Yeah.
In that next quadrennial. And we'll see what happens.
It's probably 28 team league already. Slow down.
And this is it.
But no, your point there is very well made, man, that we wouldn't have been able to have a debate like this. And, I got some pushback on some of the tweets I put out, like, you're picking on... I'm not picking on... If we can do this to Matthew Schaefer or Drew Doughty, then we can do this with Joss LaRocque or Chloe Primerano.
Of course.
That's sport. And the women themselves in these leagues will tell you, stop talking about what a great story it is that we have our own league now. What's wrong with our power play? What's wrong with the penalty kill? Why is the trade deadline a big deal?
Someone needs to tell the Ottawa coaching staff that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure they fully get that.
Mm-hmm. But that's what it is to be in pro sports. People are going to pick at things, right? I like this. I don't like this. Here's my opinion on that. I'm going to say this stupid thing on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not always feel good.
No.
It's you need to be better here.
Yep. 100%, man. That being said, 60-40 USA over Canada in the gold medal game.
I thought you were going to say, all that being said, we could have done better here today.
Oh, no. We
actually could not have done better here today. This is redlining.
We are trying to keep the nose up here. Yeah. 1,640 odd episodes.
You get what you get.
We're redlining here,
complain.
Man. That's it. But it's going to be fun. And the Olympic, I've already got every Canada game, men's and women's, loaded into my calendar so that I don't accidentally,
And we'll see if there's any holes in the ice.
Yeah, 100%. They did have, the test event there. And by all accounts, it's fine. The hole is alarming, as it would be. But apparently not uncommon for new ice. They do only have 3 of the 14 locker rooms built. It seems
14 locker rooms?
Well, between the men's and the women's tournaments that are going to be rotated through. They have just simply given up on there being food in the arena. They're going to bring food trucks to the outside. We're not going to get that done.
I love that. Food trucks.
The second level, when the IIHF and NHL officials were there, like, we can't go up there. It's not safe yet, so no one knows if there's going to be a second deck at this point. But the ice was playable, which is something.
Done.
Get in there. We'll wrap it up here. There will be something else this week, presumably. I'm just clinging to things.
There will be content.
Yeah.
Yes. And it will be viable.
It will be viable.
It will be
like this Canadian edition of the men's and women's.
Entertaining.
Easy.
It'll be informative.
Oh boy, for the first time in 640.
Educational.
Oh man, Rob's putting a lot of pressure on here.
Edutainment. If I have to come back in here, I'll do it.
Do it. Can you do it yourself? Like I'll come press the button for you.
Yeah,
and then walk away.
Yes, that will be the most interesting.
We'll see what's coming. I guess that's it. We'll see you. It's one of those shows.
See ya.
I've got nothing here. You're giving me baseball and hockey, and I got my keister blowing in the wind. That made me look like a fool here. That's just dumb. I don't want anything to do with this place. This place is run by a bunch of children.